Hey, welcome back to a show we do every single week right here on Tony Curry Radio. The best 5 minutes of television. We do podcasts. We do it all, baby. And of course, he is Matthew Butts, mbutslaw.net, mbutslaw.net, 948-4958, 948-4958. He does divorce and family law, and he's one of the best. That's why I've hired him. And he joins us right now on No Ifs, Ands, or Buts. Matt, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Doing well, Tony. How about you?
Good. It's the end of the summer.
Yeah.
So any people that have had maybe those summer flings, it's time to get back to school. Vacations are over. Boys' trips are over. And it's time for the kids to go back to school. What does the divorce attorney schedule look like when you start getting kids back into school? I would assume that if you were going to make a switch or you were going to propose some type of divorce or maybe separation, you would do that over the summer months because the kids are home. You don't want to do it during the school year because they're working and they're thinking. But I don't know. But how's that play out in your line of business?
Generally, more motions than petitions at the end of summer, for me at least.
Okay.
At the beginning of summer, a whole lot more petitions. And don't get me wrong, I'm still filing petitions.
When you say
Um,
petitions, what do you mean?
it opens up a case, whether that be a complaint for divorce or a petition to modify a divorce settlement or a contempt motion for not doing what the divorce decree said. Um, a whole lot of that. Also picking up on criminal defense because I'm doing that as well. A lot of DUIs. I mean, we've got these holidays, summer months, people drink at the lake and then they're like, I'm fine, and go to drive home, pick up DUI, or whatever situation it is. But yeah, picking up a fair amount of criminal defense right now.
Yeah. And so you do divorce. I know you do divorce stuff and family law, but you do DUIs as well.
I do. So I'm public defender at Mountain Brook
Okay.
and in the city of Cordova, and I love the dichotomy of it. Like I love that when I go into civil court for divorces, it's one thing, and then when I go to criminal court, it's like a whole other ball game. But I've been doing that for a while. I've been doing that for a few years now, and I really enjoy it. I don't take any heavy felonies. I don't really want murders or
Yeah.
things like that. But DUIs, simple assaults, domestic violence, things like that, I take.
When it comes to DUIs, and I was not aware of that. I should have done my homework, but that just loads me up with about 18,000 more questions for you. When you're talking about DUIs, is it pretty much clear cut what's going to happen to somebody if they've gone over the limit and they've been arrested? For an attorney to say, "Hey, listen, come with me because I can help you get a better deal than someone else can." Can they?
Okay. First off, let's take this idea of the legal limit and let's throw it right out the nearest window
Okay.
because the legal limit of 0.08 refers only to a presumption in court. A presumption can be overcome. So at a point oh 0.05, at a point oh 0.01, if a police officer says through my training and my experience, I could tell that they were intoxicated on a substance, you could still be convicted. So, but what really matters is number one, which DUI is this? Is it your first?
Hmm.
If it's your first, generally better things can happen. Second, it's going to be tougher. Third, some mandatory jail. And fourth is a felony. And I think even on the second one, you may have to do a mandatory um, sentence. But anyways, the third mandatory is 60 days.
Yeah.
So
Ouch.
you don't want to get a third. And that's within the span of 10 years. It used to be five. Now it's 10. Um, but yeah, so the best way to do it is just don't drink at all.
Sure. Yeah, and there's no doubt. Um,
uh,
the other question I always get, and I know I'll get questions on this. If I've gotten a DUI in Tennessee, does the state of Alabama find out about it? And if they do, how long does it take? Will my place of work find out about it? Because a lot of people get DUIs down at the beach or out of town. They pretend it doesn't exist where they're driving. And how does it affect your insurance? Does your insurance find out about it?
so um There are a couple different databases. The primary database for everything that happens across the country is NCIC, National Crime Information Center. And whenever you are charged with a crime, then that report will follow. Like there's a lot of confidentiality issues with that report. You keep it in the room, you don't take it outside the building. But it's going to show everything. Now, as far as an employer, it depends. How deep of a background check are they doing? Were you arrested by the city or by the county? If it's by the county, I can pull it up on Alicourt as an attorney. If it's by the city, I cannot. I would have to do a deeper background search. So it just all depends on what kind of search they're doing.
So if and most people are talking about the insurance aspects of it. If you have State Farm or whatever, Geico or whatever, and you have an insurance and you get a DUI in Tennessee, you're obviously not going to call your insurance company and say, "Hey, listen, I got a
They'll
DUI this
know.
past weekend," because obviously you're going to get popped for it. But sometimes I've heard some people that it doesn't change anything, and then some people that get popped. Is it just a matter of the insurance company looking for it, or do they get a notification that you've gotten a DUI in another state?
If you've got somebody that it didn't change anything, I would like to speak with them about that experience they've had with a unicorn because that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's going to change things. You're going to get a letter. Now, if it's out of state, that can delay the process. I mean, maybe these agencies aren't communicating, but at the end of the day, on the NCIC sheet, that's where it's going to be, and if that's where they're looking, they're going to find it.
All right. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Our new site is going to be 5 minutes, best 5 minutes of TV. Check it out. And we're working on that right now. And of course, this show is called No Ifs, Ands, or Buts. MButsLaw.net. American divorce attorney does fantastic stuff, family law, and he's wonderful. I had divorce and I had an A there, and it looked like American. I was like, of course he's American. American divorce and family law. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Chintzy of Birmingham wants to know that things are a little rough in her relationship. She's been married for 16 years. She said, knowing that the divorce is probably imminent, is there any reason to get a separation first before you get a divorce?
What I mean, it depends. Are we talking about a legal separation? If we are, then no. The reason why is people will come to me and ask for legal separation. I get it. I get it. I went to seminary first, man. You want to give every single shot that you can to make the marriage work. However, a lot of the stuff that you do in a separation is going to be the same thing you do in a divorce. It's going to cost the same, except that in a divorce, 30 days after that divorce decree is entered, your property division is final. Not so much so with a property division in a separation. It can be reevaluated, it can be redone. So, best way to do it is to get the divorce. Now, if we're talking about a physical separation, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you've got kids, as long as you can work out what's going to happen with the custody and the support and maintenance of that
So
child,
in other words, you're talking about
okay, take a trial
you're
separation.
talking about having an agreement between two people. Hey, listen, you go off and do your own thing, and I'll go off and do my own thing, and we'll work through some things. If as long as you're on the same page, and I would strongly urge that you have a marriage counselor that's involved in this type of
Yeah.
situation, so you guys are working on the same page. My thing is in Chintzy. It makes it sound like perhaps she feels like he's asking for a separation so he can get his ducks in a row.
Well, I mean,
And,
and it
and
gives them another bite at the apple on an agreement too.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly, yeah.
that's why, look, you don't want to be enemies with anybody, but if you're standing as an enemy to someone, you certainly don't want to give them any advantage.
Yeah.
Um, why don't we get our ducks in a row and do it the right way? Uh,
Is there any onus on who files the divorce first? Does that mean anything to the judge on who files the divorce
that
first?
means not to the judge. Where it gives you an advantage is if you file first, you go first. So, and don't get me wrong, I mean, like, it's going to all come out in the wash.
Yeah.
But so that's why it's obviously not detrimental or devastating. If you didn't file first, you can file an answer and counterclaim and you can put on your case just like they do. Just a matter of going first.
Yeah.
Um, and depending on the case, it can affect optics, but not to an extent to where it's going to be prejudicial.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and perhaps listening to the show, mbutslaw.net is the website, 948-4958. I hear so many guys that are in situations where they're about ready to go through a divorce and they didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming, and I'm like, if you didn't see it coming, then you you had some issues. You're missing some things because there's red flags out there. And guys, for the most part, like, yeah, we're going through a tough time, but this marriage, and we'll work things out. Maybe it depends on how long the marriage has been going on or whether they've had issues in the past. But if for any reason, and I always say this, your gut rarely is wrong. If something just doesn't seem right in your relationship, there's something wrong. I mean, the gut's never wrong. It's just the gut is always right. And if for some reason you find out that she's pigeonholing money for a particular situation, or all of a sudden she's changed her routine, not that she's cheating on you, but perhaps she's trying to set the table. Maybe she's on the phone with her mom a lot more, and she's talking about visiting more often or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but a lot of people like to be, secretive when it comes to because they don't want them to know they're going to file for divorce.
There's also a lot of power in the thought this type of thing happens to other people, not to me.
Yeah.
And even though you might not even think that directly, that's kind of the underlying thing. This happens to other people. I'm not in danger here. Man, we are all susceptible to what could happen, and it's just the reality of that. But it's also wishful thinking. We can deceive ourselves. I mean, humans are exceptional at deceiving themselves.
Yeah.
So,
and it's truly interesting about your married friends. Then you'll find your married friends, particularly guys. Guys don't want to be around you anymore just because it's uncomfortable. And a lot of times, when a couple is going through a divorce and it's the last thing people thought would have happened, and we've all got those couples, I cannot believe that Julie and Mark are getting divorced. It does make you sit back and start looking at your own situation and thinking, what am I missing here? Is there something I'm not doing more? And use that. I mean, if that's something that you have a good friend of, use that opportunity. But the truth of the matter is, it takes work. You have to work at it. And for people that think, okay, I'm married and just take it for granted and it's just going to be the way it is and we're going to be fine and have our highs and lows and not work through things and talk and communicate, then good luck. It's not going to happen. You have to work in the marriage. And I'm sure you see that, throughout things. By the way, so someone asked me, what is the average length of a marriage now before a divorce is filed?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm seeing lots of 6 and 7 year marriages. Let's call it 6 to 10 year marriages. I'm seeing a decent amount of those.
Yeah.
I'd say probably mostly that.
Okay. And then we've got football season coming up. I always love these seasons, and I know a divorce is a divorce is a divorce. But I would like to think that a lot of couples probably stay together during the football season, particularly if they're rooting for the same team. Am I wrong there?
No, you're right. But so much. Okay. I probably shouldn't say that. Football season and children's sports tends to stir up other activities as well.
Yeah.
And I will just leave it at that.
Okay.
Which is horrible. I mean, really not great. But it does. And business comes in.
All right. Tell people how they get in touch with you, man.
You can call the office Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3, 205-948-4958. Speak with Ashley. She'll set you up for a consultation. You can check us out online at mbutslaw.net and here on the podcast.
You're the best, brother. I love you, man. Thank you.
You too, brother. Thanks, Tony.